and in today's tutorial, it happens to be the continuation of the course KHE 201, and we're going to be talking about a lot of things about the human functioning and organisms in the body. With this being said, let's go straight into it. Okay, so we are taking the course according to the thumbnail. Says KHE 201. It's a long one, but let's just have it. We have the functional processes of human life and requirements for its survival. Okay, I think I need to increase the backlight. It's a little bit too dark, so I can see properly. Also, okay, I think it's better now. All right. So I believe the board is clear enough, and we can see properly. Now, when we say functional processes of the human life, there are a lot of things involved. All right, and we will be dissecting things from different angles. Okay, we'll be dissecting things from different angles and perspective. Now, to start with, let's talk about the organization, all right, of human body. Organization of the human body. Now, one thing we need to understand is that the human body is made up of several, okay, billions of cells. All right, the human body is made, all right, up of billions of cells. All right, and I believe the word cell, all right, or cells is not a new thing to us at this level. Right? When we talk about cells, we are referring to that unit of life. Okay? Unit of life. Okay? Speaking of cells that can exist on its own and the basic building blocks of living organism. All right? Cells are said to be the what? The basic building blocks. Okay, the basic building blocks of all living organism. See why they are so important in the human body, and that's why we have them in their billions. All right, we have cells in the skin, in the blood, everywhere. You find them everywhere. All right, in as much as we are living beings, this is what makes us human. All right, these are the things that makes us human. All right, so we have that as that. So now that we understand what it means by cells, okay, let's take a step further. Now, one thing we need to understand about the said term is that cells, they play a very important role in the survival and existence of human, all right, human life, all right, in survival and existence of humans. Cells plays a vital role. Now, this enables it performs the human function for which it is created. Now, speaking of the cells, we said the human body is made up of several billions of cells. All right, each of these cells has its own integrity. All right, we are speaking about the fact that each cells, all right, they serve a purpose. All right, so it's as a result of these cells that human beings, all right, these cells enables human beings to perform functions for which we are created. Now, some cells are made in such a way that they are able to function as part of the nervous system. And when we talk about the nervous system, we are simply referring to a complex all right, a complex network of nerve tissues. All right, complex network of nerve tissues that coordinates what we call an animal's action and sensory information. All right, this is what we refer to as the nervous system. Now, while others are made to perform protective functions of the skin, just like what I said earlier, all these cells they have what they do in the system. Some are meant for protection, some are meant sensory responsibilities, some are meant for vision, some are a lot of them perform different functions in the body. All right. So the process whereby specialized cells are joined together in such a way that they are placed in a position where they are capable of performing a special function for human body is known as organization. Okay. When a cell, the process that involves the joining together, speaking of organization, we are talking about the process that involves the joining together, all right, the joining together of a particular cell, all right, placed in a position where they can, all right, or capable of performing what we call special function for the human body is known as organization. Okay. Now, all the cells in human body are organized in such a way that there is what we refer to as division of labor. All right. Like I said earlier, different cells perform different responsibilities. All right. And with these, they can function independently and collectively and enable the body to carry out the function as a complete system. This is a very good example of what we call subsystems. And we've said this a lot of times on this stream that the subsystem is the reason why a comprehensive or a functioning or effective system is existing. Without the functioning subsystem, there is nothing like a working system. The system will crumble because the system is nothing without the subsystem. That is what the cells does to human body. All right, a lot of them, billions of them in different departments, working together to ensure that our eyes can blink, all right, our fingers can move, our legs can move, our mouth can perform its functions, the ear can, all right, can get sounds, all right, the eye can sight things. All these are the functions of certain cells working effectively in certain departments and collectively to make the body functions as it is expected. All right. So all the cells in human body are organized in such a way that there is division of labor. Okay. So we have that as that. Now let's take a step further. Now, what we need to understand here is that while the cells of the eyes are used for seeing, the cells of the ear are for hearing, the cells for the muscles and for bones are for movement. Now, you see what I was talking about? Different cells with different responsibility. Now, through their division of labor, there must be what we call cooperation among all the components of the human body if it is to be alive. All right. So it's as a result of the cooperation between the cells that makes the human body what it is. All right. That makes the human body a living being. So we have that as that. Now let's talk about what it means by metabolism. All right. We have metabolism. Now, when we talk about metabolism, the human body interacts with the environment in several ways as it goes through the processes of life. It takes in substance from the environment, process them into other substance useful to its life, and release this energy for its life processing. All right, are we getting this processing? Now, when we talk about metabolism, we are simply referring to that the sum of chemical reaction, the sum of chemical reaction that takes place in the body cells to produce energy and material for growth, all right, reproduction, and health. The sum, all right, the sum, when we say sum, we are saying the summation, the total, all right, chemical reactions that takes place in the human body, all right, the total chemical reaction that takes place in the human body, all right, through our cells to produce energy and materials for growth, reproduction, and health. Now, let's take a step further. Now, metabolism, like I said earlier, metabolism, all right, talks about how human interacts with the environment. Okay, when humans collect or receive or absorb substance, all right, convert these substances, processes these substances into other substances. For all right, there's this when it was collected. All right, this fruit having been collected by human, going to be a chewing process, all right, or a eating process, and this eating process requires a chewing. All right, and when we talk about chewing, it's a process whereby the solid substance is being grinded, all right, with the use and the aid of the teeth and the saliva, all right, grounded and mixed in order to aid digestion. All right, you can't just pick a solid substance. There's a acceptable size for every solid substance that can go through, all right, the throat of the human throat. So there is need for chewing, all right. It might be hard, it might be soft. There is need for chewing, mixing with the saliva to ensure smooth digestion. So all these processes, you have converted that particular substance, which was in, you've converted it from the initial state, all right, to that state whereby it will be easy for you to take it in, digest it, and in as much as you digest it, that processes converts it into something useful for the body system, whereby there's energy. All right, it produces energy and other things in the body system that are useful to the system. Then the system uses this substance, all right, and every benefit extracted from it, all right, and give it back to the environment that which the initial substance was collected. This process is referred to as metabolism. So now it is a very broad, all right, metabolism is a very broad term which describes all the chemical reaction that occurs in the body. All right. So now there are two phases that can be identified in metabolism. All right. Between human and its environment. So there are two phases in metabolism. The very first phase is what we refer to as catabolism. Catabolism here, all right, catabolism all right, is the phase in which complex substances are broken down into simpler building blocks. All right, we have it as complex substances. Substances are broken down. All right, complex substances are broken down into simpler blocks. All right, into simpler building blocks, and energy is released, just like what I explained earlier with the where or that I use Apple to explain. Now, the second phase of metabolism is called anabolism. Anabolism. With anabolism, okay, with anabolism, we are talking about the use of energy in the process of life. Use of energy in the process of life. All right. So from what you have gotten, convert it to energy, and it is used for the process of life. So we're going to call it a wrap here today. We've been able to talk about something tonight, and I believe you all have been able to gain something as well. So let's, in our next class, we'll take it up from irritability. All right. So I'm just going to highlight that very quickly. So thank you very much, everyone. I believe you're able to get something to this class. Please, let's go keep our notes up to date and send them to the appropriate buttons. Bye for now, and I look forward to seeing you subsequent tutorials.